terms of figuring out what success means to you want to get it written down because successful people, I can't remember what the percentage is, but it's 97% more successful. They did some famous study at Harvard that's somehow jumping out of my brain right now, where the people who wrote down their goals were some great percentage more successful than people that never wrote them down. And it's hard to get your goals concretized like that, but it's worth doing. And it changes you as a person to write down your goals because you're making the metaphysical physical. Otherwise it's just hanging out here as a wish and a dream. And you write it down, it's like, I'm going to make this happen. And your plan will always change throughout the year. You never stay 100% on plan, but it helps you get really clear on what you want in life and what you're building, because it's really going to be up to you. One exercise I did earlier in life that someone suggested, I was at a workshop and they said, write down 100 goals and 100 things you want in life, 100 things you want to accomplish, write down 100 places you'd like to visit, and 100 things you'd like to learn. And I just wrote those lists out and I've looked back over them over the years, and all of the things on there I've either accomplished or I've decided that's not really something I want. That was like a fantasy, but it's not really right for me. So just that exercise of staying with your desire. Plus, you want to also look at these things that you think you want, and you have to go, is this something I really want, or is this something the culture is brainwashing me that I want? You know what I mean? It's like, do I really want that Lamborghini, or is it just because the culture thinks a Lamborghini's cool? And if that's what I really want, I should get it. But if I can say to myself, there's a million things I'd rather have than that, especially good when you get to a place where you could afford it and you go, you know what? I really don't want that. I really don't want that. But you work with it this way by writing down, you can do this exercise. It's interesting. Write down 100 things you'd like to own, 100 accomplishments you'd like to have, 100 places you'd like to travel, and 100 ways you'd like to contribute to other people. And some of those things will be easier than others, but you keep pushing yourself to come up with 100 because you're like, I can't come up with 100. Keep pushing and pushing. Then you work with those lists and you go, what if this is really what I want? And you can really get part of personal and spiritual growth is separating yourself from cultural brainwashing. And we live in a culture that brainwashes us to want a lot of things that are not good for us. You just think about it in simple terms of how much you're being brainwashed to eat food that's really toxic. Constant bombardment with eating this toxic food, constant bombardment with wanting things that aren't good for us, and constant bombardment to look at other human beings as if they're actually not quality human beings, but as if they're just two-dimensional, constant bombardment.